Okay, so I love, love, love to go sourcing. Even when I was on more limited budget and couldn't buy as much stuff, I still loved going to the thrift stores, especially on dollar days because it made me feel like I was getting over like a bandit, even though in my area, in South Georgia, I do not have access to a lot of very high-end brands. So it was mostly bread and butter stuff, but at only $1 per item, the profit margin was still pretty good. Sadly, Goodwills have stopped doing dollar days in my area since COVID, but I've heard some YouTubers say that, it's coming back in their area, so maybe it will come back this way in Georgia soon. Anyway, I started thinking the other day about at what point is it an addiction and goes beyond just that you have to build up your inventory for your closet, or so I keep telling myself. What questions do you ask yourself? Is it the size of your death pile or your money pile, as they call it? The amount of money that you're spending versus the amount of money that you have coming in? What would be the point that you would use to gather whether your spending is a smart investment or just a feel-good thing that you are doing? Because it's easy to understand there are few things that can compare to finding something really good at the thrift that you are saving from the landfill one and that you can make a great profit on. However, the thrill of your score is quickly diminished when you look at your pile and now you see that it's time to either clean or steam it. You got to photograph it. You got to list it, probably on multiple platforms. And then if you're selling on Poshmark, of course there's the listing or the sharing aspect, which is horrible. But so I think that the answer is to be aware of, whether or not you have insane death piles, especially if you're not selling a huge amount of things. Because even if you're buying and you're buying to raise the amount of items that you have in your closet, if that's your rationale for going out to thrift, if you're not listing them, guess what? They're still not in your closet. So you're really not doing anything but getting that high from, finding new items, the little treasure hunt that we go on. So, you need to think about this before you go out and buy, or I'm going to start thinking about it. Like, how much stuff do you still have to list? I'm not saying that you should stop going out to source completely because, who wants to do this? But to make it a point to list a certain amount of items from your money pile or your death pile every day. And that's what I've started doing. I've had them things in these, the little white filing boxes that you can have. I have one of those and I pull out of it every day some things that I need to relist or things that I need to list in my closet, and I have it sitting like right by my desk as a reminder to me, okay, today I need to list at least 5 things from this box so that I can steadily dwindle down my money pile. And so I have a little story too to go along with that can put in perspective what I'm saying about having lost money just sitting there in front of you. I sell on Amazon FBA and I sell mostly books. I have a lot of books. I love books. But I've recently realized that as a small seller, with the Amazon fees steadily going up, it really doesn't make a lot of sense for me to do the Amazon FBA because you basically have to sell your book. Even if you're only getting the book for $1, Amazon will come in and take like $8. They take or more. They take a lot from your cut, even if you're sending it out yourself. So I'm in the process of getting a lot of stuff sent back to me from Amazon FBA. And I realized the other day when I went on there that they are actually, I don't know if their warehouses are overrun or if they're trying to do free up some space, but they're also, for a limited amount of time, they didn't say when it ended. When it ends, they're going to let you either dispose of items or send them back to yourself like for free. So if you do sell Amazon FBA, I would definitely check over, the inventory to see if you have any long-term storage fees coming up. You can have some stuff sent back to you to avoid that. But anyways, I, had stuff sent back to me probably about 6 months ago, and I hadn't gotten a chance to look through this stuff. But recently, I had to clean up my inventory room because I had to clean out a space because I'm an educator, and where I have my desk at now, there's not enough light for me to be able to do my classes. There you weren't able to see me very well where I'm sitting now. So I'm like, it's a lot of light in my inventory room. So I needed to clear out a space and organize it to make it the where I can be in there and actually think, not be surrounded by a bunch of clutter and stuff around me. Even if the students can't see it, I can see it, and it would drive me crazy. But in the process of doing that, I steadily was like, okay, I need to tackle my money pals. And I found this book. It was, the title of it was about a guy. His name is, I think you pronounce it Bonhoeffer. And it was like some kind of spy pastor. It sounded like he was maybe living some kind of double life. But anyways, I listed that book probably about 3 o'clock, and it sold at 8 o'clock that night for full asking price. I had it for $10 plus shipping. And I'm like, this whole time I've been sitting there on having money just sitting in front of me. And that was a couple of days ago. Well, the same thing happened to me today with another book that I had. It's a textile book, a book on making textiles. I listed those books last week, and today one of them sold on Mercari. So, that's a little motivation for me. Hopefully it's for you too, to go look through things that you have. And also especially if you're like a Poshmark seller, eBay seller, you're a clothing seller, to also look for ways to diversify. Because me selling different things have really helped with my sales this past few weeks, because I've sold some clothes, but I've sold, more other items other than clothes the last week, and I made more money. For instance, some of the things that I've sold within the last few days, in addition to clothes, is I found a Little House on the Prairie book set that was from 1994. It seemed like something that maybe they sold at book fairs or something like that, but it was a set. It came in a little case, even though I sold it without the case because the case was a little bit damaged, so I didn't want to sell it with that. So I sold that for a good profit. I sold that for about $40. I had this Nuatag limited polka dot skirt that's a size small that I sold. It's such a cute skirt, but it took forever to sell that skirt, and I did not think that it would take that long because it was due with tags. It was really cute, but I'm learning quickly that skirts, are not very quick sellers, at least not for me. I found some new sealed note cards, and they had cake pops, and I wouldn't even pick them up, but I took this training course, and in the training course, when the woman was giving examples of like some websites, it was like on marketing. She's like, what if I was a cake pop lady or whatever? And she started talking about cake pops, and I was like, what in the world are cake pops? I had actually never heard of cake pops before. So when I saw these note cards, I was like, okay, well, obviously other people are really talking about cake pops for it to come up in, the training as an example, because every example that she used, she was talking about cake pops. So I was like, well, let me pick these up. So that I sold a Lucky Brand top for $11, a 3X boho chic top, some political cartoon books, and a breast cancer awareness tie. But you can go to my Instagram, which is Posh Dazzling Diva, and I actually have these on there if you want to see what they are. But, just let me know, what you think about, the difference between, whether sourcing is an addiction or, what do you think about that? You can follow me on, like I said, Posh Dazzling Diva, and join the discussion there. I can't wait to hear what you think. Bye for now.